Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye whiskey. That's right, today I will be sampling the Jim Beam Pre-Prohibition style rye whiskey, coming at you in just a few moments. Good evening, good day, salutations, all that good stuff to you, my salty dogs. Today I will be sampling and reviewing the Jim Beam Pre-Prohibition style rye whiskey. Number of firsts for this channel. It is my first Jim Beam, so congratulations me, and it's also my first rye whiskey. Now, I did have a tasting done of the Wild Turkey Forgiven, which did have a 4-year-old rye in it, but this is my first I don't want to say pure rye, but it is just a rye whiskey. There's no bourbon mixed in with it. Well, you've probably heard of Jim Beam, and if you haven't, how dare you, sir? They are a distillery in Claremont, Kentucky in the United States of America. It is named after James B. Beam. Now, James B. Beam is pretty much credited for restoring the distillery, making it rise from the ashes. You know, I hardly ever say that. Risen from the ashes, and risen from the ashes, risen from the ashes, risen from the ashes, and rising from the ashes. He made it rise from the ashes after Prohibition, and as you probably might guess, Prohibition was kind of a big deal in the United States for the bourbon groups. What you might not know about Jim Beam is that it is currently owned by the Suntory Group. Now, Suntory is a Japanese distillery group, and they own a number of things, you know, the Yamazakis, the Hibiki blends, and the Hakushus. So, what is rye whiskey? Rye whiskey is a cereal grain. It is very closely related to barley, but there are some differences. Rye it's pretty common. You'll find it out there. I mean, there are rye crisps, there's rye beer, there's rye bread. So even if you don't think you've ever had rye before, the chances are you actually probably have. What does rye do to a whiskey? It generally tends to impart spiciness and fruitiness. And in my experience so far, the dominant of those two would be the spiciness. Rye, generally speaking, a lot more spicy than your typical malted barley. So that's enough of that pub trivia. Let's have a look at the bottle and see what we're dealing with. Oh, there's no marketing bling. Oh, yes, there is. All right, hold on. From the heart of Kentucky, Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey is made for those who take their whiskey seriously. Well, I don't tend to take anything seriously, so this might not be for me. Oh. A distinctly dry, spiced rye with a long, soft finish, making this all-American spirit the perfect choice for any whiskey cocktail. Don't know about that. I will be drinking this neat. I find a lot of the marketing spin will always try to find lots of different ways for you to use it. So they'll advocate the addition of ice, they'll advocate cocktails, but I tend to drink whiskeys neat. There might be a cocktail coming up later on in the channel. I don't know. I'm being cagey. Just while I'm letting the dram rest in the glass, I did have a bit of a YouTube creator existential crisis, and that's why this video is coming out a bit later than usual, but the good news is I got over it. Look, if you've been enjoying these vids, do consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. YouTube recently changed its rules, and I need to get my viewer base up, so if you can help in that regard, man, I would be forever grateful. Forever. The whiskey details. It is a rye whiskey from the state of Kentucky. It has 40% ABV. It has not been artificially colored. Much like the bourbons, they don't tend to color their ryes in the US, but it has been chill filtered. Let's have a nose, my friends. So right off the bat, it's very spicy. Say nutmeg. Nutmeg and cloves. A very rich caramel with a tinge of vanilla. So very, very strong notes of caramel at the start. Not the spice at the start, the caramel at the start. Some hints of vanilla, and then a nice big wave of spiciness. Very good. Very nice. Okay, now on this second taste, I'm getting a lot more of that clovey taste. So cloves. Cloves and some toasted oak. The oakiness is now really, really strong. Pretty earthy. A little bit of vanilla. And just a hint, really, of bonfire smoke. Not peat smoke. So it's not that they peated the rye. So this is from the wood. Smoky taste extracted from the wood. That's my extracted from the wood hand sign. Cool. Contrary to what it said on the bottle, I would actually call this a medium finish rather than a long finish. The spices are carrying it through, but not that much. What I am getting is a nice peppery hit at the end, and that toasted oak and bonfire smoke feel coming to the foreground. Quite nice, quite pleasant. So, the Jim Beam Rye Pre-Prohibition style. How would I classify this? Good. Didn't blow me away, but is good. It'd be a nice one to have. If you've never tried rye before, this would be a starting marker, and you can then move on to the more elite ryes that are out there on the market. But this is quite good. Well, if you have enjoyed this review, please do give us a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more reviews, click the subscribe button. That one will make me extremely tingly. And I look forward to tasting another whiskey for all you salty dogs very, very soon.